Alright, hi all. Welcome to Davis Vehicle Services, where I'm going to introduce you to Trusted Mechanics Works. This video is a two-part series that is on explaining issues I found with Mitsubishi Colt. I'm going to go through the different systems that would give you an idea as to how to troubleshoot your own car, as to what a mechanic is supposed to be doing on your car, so that you would not have this gap between what takes place when a mechanic fixes your car. In this video, we're going to cover low battery voltage at general engine service, some radiator replacement that came out of nowhere, and damage that happened to a rotor, as well as some front suspension repairs. The battery was activated in 2022, so 2024 would be the time period by which the battery may start to go bad or expire. Testing the battery, realized that it came up to 10 volts. With 10 volts is too insufficient for your battery to run. Your battery usually runs on 12 volts. 12.3 to 12.5 range generally when you test the battery. To buy a replacement, we got this one from Price Mart. It was a bit of trouble, but to install it. Then on to general maintenance. This person, whoever put this coil back in, they put too much silicone, as you can see, right, which is not good. This is from having long of a period between the oil changes, right? The camshaft area gets gunked up with a lot of dirty oil over the tappet cover as well. This is a very crucial device that you will see in a later video, that if this gets stuck with too much oil, you are unable to get a proper idle. Tappet cover gasket, it is made out of rubber. Due to constant heating and cooling, it gets brittle, and this one developed a tear. It also was a very difficult part to find because of the rarity of this car. Carry on with our oil change, right? Run it to make sure there is no leak. So your mechanic is supposed to actually check under the car, run it to idle operating temperature, and check under the car to make sure there is no further leaks to your vehicle's oil system. These are the old spark plugs, and we got them replaced. Initially we had the shorter length, but we had to get the longer one. And then tragedy struck. Ran into a curb and hit the curb, and it boosted the radiator, so we had to get a replacement. Right, this is an attempt to try to remove a lot of the gunk from in the tappet cover area. We had to get the coolant overflow bottle replaced, right? We'll be filling the radiator with proper coolant, and your mechanic is actually supposed to test it. Here, this is the improper test that was carried out because I had the wrong fitting fitted to the radiator. We had a bit of a challenge carrying the car. Eventually got it to the shop. Some precautionary measures to ensure that there was a rubric to follow for the correct torque specs for overhauling this car, right? That is supposed to be done to get your vehicle back to the correct torque. For any bolts, crucial bolts I will replace, as you'll see in a later video with this vehicle. There's a massive flat spot from the car being stationary for too long, and this rotor, this wheel was actually very hard to come off, and we couldn't get it off. We had to use a lot of tools to get it off, right? A sledgehammer and a chisel were involved, and yes, there is a hole in the rotor. Not good for the integrity of your brake system. Anytime something happens like this, you have to replace the rotor just for your safety, right? Your mechanic should not try to machine it down or just let you carry on with this. Car was up for quite some time. The steering end links and steering ends were replaced. Test is usually done to show that the grease in the joint is gone, or when that is worn out, it has a very slack or very loose plated, supposed to be actually very tight. Yeah, I think I lost the footage for showing the difference between that. It's out with a universal tool, cradle arms, all the bushings were purchased from a vendor, right? They're supposed to give you the correct bushings, that is the correct size for the part. Then we carried it to a press shop. Very, very, very highly recommended to go by a professional. And the easier thing to do is to actually replace the entire cradle arm. As you can see here, one of the front side for the left side, you could see that it's not standing straight up, right? That usually is very stiff. When it's worn out, it gets, same thing as the ball joint, so it gets very loose. Dismantling the air intake system and the air intake manifold to clean that, because it would have had a lot of carbon buildup. Right, as you can see, all the parts laid out, ready for cleaning. Some Purple Blast and some brakes and parts cleaner. Moving on to the sampan, there was a weird plate that they had in place, and it was very strange to see how they assembled it, but I got stuck eventually. Right, gunk all over from lack of oil changes. The parts that was set out for cleaning, right? Even though I used Purple Blast, it had to be cleaned right after. And then there's the brakes and parts cleaner for cleaning the intake manifold. Right, this isn't the full clean, but there was a lot of carbon buildup inside of this manifold. And clean it and wash it out and left it to dry. And then the same thing with the tappet cover, try to get off all the gunk. So tune for part 2, that's coming soon.